Yo, what's going on, Cowboys fans? It's your boy Fuster King here, and we are back with more content. Today, we're talking about linebackers and just who is the perfect fit for the Cowboys in 19. Well, I went over the top 4 guys with a special shout out to guys like Fred Warner, a couple other players who are good, but I don't think that the Cowboys are really considering them at the 19th pick. Lorenzo Carter, Malik Jefferson, more late round guys, Josie Jewell. I wanted to hit Roquon Smith, Rashaan Evans, Tremaine Edmunds, and yes, Leighton, Vander. And just like the wide receiver series, I wanted to kind of judge what they do based on a certain number of skill sets. Really wanted to get particular in how they would fit in Dallas and who does what the best. Now, again, this is my opinion. This is what I think, and this is basically out of the film that I've watched, what I see in these players. So let's get into the skill set. See it and go, point of attack, size, and coverage and athleticism. I mixed the two with the coverage and athleticism. Now, before I start, I just want to say, I think that all of these players are good and they all have strengths and weaknesses. For example, Roquon Smith needs to be covered up. I don't really want him taking on, a lot of blockers. Tremaine Edmunds still has to fill into his body, but he has a great body. So just want to put that out there. So here we go. See it and go, Roquan Smith. Just his production alone, I'm reading right now, 137 tackles last year in 2018. That's just amazing. He gets to the ball faster than any linebacker I've scouted in a long, long time. He's very quick. He's a very sure tackler. And even in that Oklahoma game, he was the reason they were losing. He got himself together. He was really the reason why they ended up winning that game. They freed him up, took him out of the middle. They moved him around, let him run free to the ball, and he just made plays against the run game, shut it down. Had really the tale of two halves. He was really good. So I like Roquan Smith. He wins the see it and go box. Point of attack. By far for me, it's Rashaan Evans. When he hits you, you go down. Period. I advise everybody to go watch his game against LSU. When he hit Darius Geis went down. And Darius Geis is a very hard runner. And so it's almost to the point he may play a little out of control at times. But listen, if you have a chance to draft Rashaan Evans, I think that you get a guy with just attitude in the middle of your defense. And it's an attitude that, frankly, the Cowboys need. We haven't had that type of hitter since another Alabama linebacker. I won't say his name, but yeah. Point of attack goes to Rashaan Evans. Now, moving right along, let's go with size. Size goes to who else? Tremaine Edmunds. You just can't teach 6'4". You can't teach 260. Well, not 260. It's about 254. But the thing about the size with Edmunds is it's about how he's built almost like a power forward. It's really amazing, and he still has room to grow into his body. You know what I mean? He still hasn't grown into his body. He's only 19. He's one of the youngest players. I think he may be the youngest player in this draft. Came from a football background. His dad's a high school coach. So, I love Tremaine Edmunds, and that's why he gets the coverage and athleticism award too. When you're that big, he's literally a tick under 6'5". He probably is 6'5" and can move that well. The coverage and athleticism has to go to Tremaine Edmunds as well. Is he out of the Cowboys' range? Probably. But if a team doesn't know how to use him or doesn't want to be patient, because you have to be patient with Edmunds, he could fall to Dallas. So he checks those 2 boxes. Now, Leighton, Vander didn't check a box. And that's just frankly because I don't think that he's better than any of these players that I scouted. I think that, while he's getting pushed up by mainstream media, I like the player. I just don't like him better than Roquan Smith, Rashaan Evans, or Tremaine Edmunds. And I've been consistent on those guys. Those were kind of the first guys that I did scouting reports on, especially Rashaan Evans and Tremaine Edmunds. I never really thought that we would have a chance to draft Roquan, but because of the size, you never know. Because of the quarterbacks, you never know. And it's not a knock on Leighton, but I just don't think that he's better than, again, any of these guys that I mentioned before. So just recapping, the guy who I think is still, I've been consistent, the guy who I think would fit best in Dallas would be Rashaan Evans. The best of the group, though, is Tremaine Edmunds, just because of you can't coach the size. he can still learn because he's literally only 19 years old. I don't know the person I was at 19, and he already has the tools to grow into his body. I like Roquan Smith, just the size really scares me, but I think that he's a really good player. Like, he's a heat-seeking missile out of his alignment at linebacker. So these are kind of my thoughts on these linebackers. What do you guys think? Rate them, rank them. Who fits best in Dallas? It's still Rashaan Evans, baby. All right, guys, this is your boy Foots the King. Thank you guys for liking, sharing, subscribing. As always, peace.